Hey there, folks. Today we're going to talk about the power of harmlessness, inoffensiveness, being non-threatening. See, it's a very simple, and forgive my sexism, but I'm going to say male pattern. The idea is, become scary, people will be afraid to mess with you, and then you'll be safe. Makes a certain kind of sense, a certain sort of reptile brain sense. But that's only half of the problem, is because when you're scary, people who would otherwise not mess with you will feel threatened by you and feel like they have to fight you, basically, in order they themselves to feel safe, in order to neutralize you or work out the hierarchy or whatever. But your scariness, whatever form it takes, being big and strong or just spooky or whatever, it impacts them as a threat. Like, if you're at a bar with your friends and a dude walks in and he just exudes menace and strength, I mean, yeah, like the majority of the bar's patrons are going to be like, "Oh, better not mess with that guy." But there will be a few dudes, probably, who take that as a challenge, to whom that is basically walking in and say, "I dare you to screw with me," and they will start feeling aggressive towards that person. When if that person had been just neutral, normal, there wouldn't even be a problem. The person who wants to fight them probably wouldn't even notice them. And that's where someone like me comes in. I'm a harmless guy. I don't exude any level of threat. Well, maybe intellectual, but other than that, I don't seem like I'm going to hurt anybody. And while that, I guess, means that I don't rate highly on the I don't rate highly on the male hierarchy scale, I guess. I don't know. I'm a nerd. We're kind of blind to that kind of thing. But sorry, there's weird noise coming from my computer. I think there's a lot of EM radiation around to mess with things. Anyway, what was I? Oh, right. So yeah, I can approach people, and they don't see me as a threat. They see me as friendly and nice. I can interact with women, for one thing, completely, because I'm completely non-threatening, and so they don't have their defenses up around me. Now, I happen to be gay, so that's not as useful to me as it would be to a straight dude, but still. And in general, I can move around and no one messes with me, not because they're scared of me, but because I'm not a threat to them. You see? There can be a great power in being non-threatening and being... I'm not sure what the opposite of non-threatening is. I guess soothing? Reassuring? Yeah, let's go with that. Reassuring. But that's how I've always been in my life. Reassuring. We could get into the psychology of that, like how when you're a great big dude like me, 6'1" and 260 some pounds, you kind of have to be twice as nice to come across as just neutral. But anyway, point is, there's great power in being harmless. And I feel like that's a lesson that a lot of men, especially young men, need to learn. I know that that's not what the hormones in your head are telling you. They're telling you that the only way to be safe is to be scary somehow, and if what you're into is the male hierarchy, then yeah. But even alpha leaders have to be able to stop being scary once they've got the girl. Because when you've got the girl, she's been attracted to you, she's with you, you have to now stop seeming like a threat to her. You have to go into teddy bear mode. And of course, that's raised to the power of 1,000,000 when you have kids. You don't want to be scary around your kids. You want the kids to like you. You want them to see you as their beneficial protector, not big scary daddy. Trust me on that one. If you want a relationship with your kids, don't be scary. So yeah, basically my thesis today is consider harmlessness. It's actually a lot more powerful than the hormones in your brain will tell you. And you really do need to be able to drop your threat level to 0 and get along. Even if that makes you feel unsafe. Because you know what? Sometimes being a man means doing things that make you feel scared, that make you feel vulnerable. No one ever said being a man was easy. Sometimes it means doing things that you don't want to do. Sometimes it means baring your throat. I guess that's all for me for today, folks. I will talk to you nice people again tomorrow. Bye-bye.